Odile Renaud-Basso. She is the president of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and she joins us now, also live from Glasgow. Thank you so much for making time for us today. We really want to discuss with you, Odile, how all of this is paid for, because one of the messages, of course, coming out of the summit is that climate finance could make or break this summit. And that number, that 100 billion that has been promised and not been given, not been delivered a decade ago by the G20 is mentioned again and again. So the question really is, how can banks such as yours, multilateral banks, help here?
So banks like multilateral development banks help countries in two ways or three ways. The first one is to finance projects which will help decarbonization, green energy, green transition. For example, we finance a lot of projects in renewable energy or finance projects to get out of coals, replacing coal industry by new industries. The second way we can support countries and helping the transition is really giving policy advice, helping countries to define a strategy, long-term strategies with short-term commitments that will help attract private investors, giving a clear framework for private investment. And the third way we can help is really pushing innovation, doing blended finance, which is using subsidies, grant financing in order to finance new projects, innovative projects, new technologies, and to support the transition.
And give us a sense of how strong these corporate interests are. How much do they really want to help, and how are they really rising to this challenge?
No, I think there is a great mobilization from the private sector and willingness to support and to accompany the transition and to be part of the transition, because they also need to adjust their own financing, their own activities. I think there is a big trend there. It's also a question of survival for the different economic sectors, private businesses, whether it's a financial sector or more industrial sector. I think there is now more and more understanding, because governments will move towards more stringent and more ambitious targets, that they need to adjust their business model to decarbonization and to the new challenges.
And to quote Boris Johnson, who yesterday at the opening of COP said, "We have the money, but maybe isn't there is that will, political will." How would you, what would your message be to world leaders?
No, there is a challenge to find bankable projects, and that's why policy are so important. It's very important, for example, to have appropriate incentive for investment to be bankable. And that's why, for example, carbon price will play, in my view, a very important role in the years ahead, in order to make a project sustainable with taking into account the price of carbon and the impact on climate. Because currently, the economic incentive, if there is not the right policies, are not properly aligned.
Okay, thank you so much for helping us understand the role of big business and, of course, multilateral banks such as yours. Odile Renaud-Basso, president of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.